You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey.
I love.
Come on, man.
I was waiting for somebody to get it.
No, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You are tuned into Ballers After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your host, Bamm Ericsen, and I would like to introduce the panel.
Hey everyone, I'm Sofia Stanley.
What's up, guys? I'm Emile Ennis Jr.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kennelia.
And we have for the finale 3 special guests. They are 3 of the stars of this Ballers HBO show. Please welcome Mr. London Brown, Mr. Antoine Harris, and Donovan W. Carter. What up? What up? What up? How are you guys?
Blessed.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that after we break down the show. But okay, the first thing is let's talk about Ricky and his daddy. Mm-hmm. Are they the same as Pops explains it to Youngblood, or are they opposite? What do you guys think? And I can't hear myself. Can you just turn me up just a little?
I mean, well, first of all, what's his name? Dennis?
Yes.
Yep,
Dennis had the deadbeat dad outfit on. He had the uniform on.
Yes. Agreed.
The Kango. He had probably had the cookout Jesus sandals. Mm-hmm. He had the K&G pantsuit.
K&G.
The rope chain, the herringbone, and he had he was a deadbeat dad. So I don't know if they're the same because just looking at them, they don't appear the same. So I don't know.
And I think there's also an option B, which is what Kennelia is saying. I think that there is somewhere in between. So yeah, do I think that there's a certain arrogance that they both share? Is there a certain kind of FU attitude that they both share? Yes, but I think there's a big difference between fucking chicks in the bathroom and being a little bit of a showboat versus being a deadbeat dad.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. I think if we're going to talk about similarities, the only similarity I see is the fact that neither one of them can own up to what they've done, just like he can't own up to any of his issues.
Fellas, what do you think?
I think that the dad not being there has played a major role in Ricky's life. And I think that a lot of the showing out and a lot of the things that Ricky does is predicated on the idea that his father wasn't there. Like sometimes, like your father is there to affirm you and let you know like what you're doing is a good job, and so you don't have to go out and seek so much attention and all these nefarious things that he tends to get into. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like the father set him up to be what he is, even though he wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the father also, he explained his situation. Maybe he didn't know how to be a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, his world was moving super fast. He went to the league. You know what I'm saying? His dad left him. So we don't know what his mom's was like. We don't know what Ricky's mom's was like either. Not saying that gives you an excuse, but I don't know.
See, okay, I can't even. So I think there's a big difference between being a dad on that day-to-day level of like caring for your child. That's one thing, right? And so I think that arguably is the most important. But there's also the financial aspect, right? So I don't care what the mom did. Theoretically, the man that you're trying to pose yourself to be in the chain and the "do you see my sweet Mustang?" you need to at least minimum financially take care of your kid. So what that meant is you allowed his mom to have to do whatever she needed to do to be both the mom and the dad to not only raise your son, but to financially care for your son. So to me, you can't step up as a man or as a football player across the table from me and you didn't give me anything in terms of love, but at least you didn't even care if I ate. Nah, son, you need to keep it moving.
For me, I thought that the dad was able, he's had a whole lifetime to make a great excuse for why he was not there for his son. So he had a great excuse. He basically said, I set you up. My dad, did this to me, and so I gave you tough love. That was a good speech for someone who hasn't been around. But the reality is, he's full of shit.
That wasn't a good speech for nobody.
It was a good but for him in his mind, he thought for him in his mind that justified why he was not there.
No,
and he thinks go ahead.
Let me go down the rabbit hole. There would have been a different conversation if he was like, yo, like when you and my mom were together, it was tough. Like I was like doing drugs. I was an alcoholic. Like I did what was best for you for leaving. That's a completely different conversation than simply trying to say after the fact I left because I never had a dad. No, there was no intentionality there. He wasn't doing it so that he thought his son was now going to be like some famous football player on the Dolphins. It just so happened to be that way, and so he's saying it after the fact. Get the difference?
No, I totally get the difference. I'm speaking what I feel is working through his brain.
Well,
he knows he's a sucker.
Yeah, and he had a sucker outfit on too. So.
Okay, now later on in the episode, Ricky has some kind of good feeling, so now he gives the jersey back. I actually didn't really care at that point.
Someone who cares?
Someone who cares. I just, okay, you gave the jersey back. So fucking what?
Well, he had a moment with his father, and he finally saw him face to face, and maybe he realized that, you know what? I don't care. I don't want to take the time and be this opposite of you and try to do all of these things to prove a point to myself. I'm just going to go out and do Ricky. Maybe that's what he felt. However, I think, and I'll save it for predictions, I think it's going to be something else with that whole number situation that we'll see later. But maybe Ricky just had an epiphany. I don't know.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
I don't know. I think since he met his dad and seen that his dad, it wasn't who he expected who he was. Mm-hmm. So now he's like, I don't even, like you said, I don't care about the number. I want to make my own number, make my own legacy. Because he got this fresh start, fresh team, and he toward his end of his career. So he want to go out with a bang, and it's it's always nice to get new jersey sales too.
No, I agree with that. No, that's an excellent point.
I was ready to go, but I agree. So I'm zip it.
Because Ricky is prime time.
Yeah, I think that it's also a small step towards some maturity. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, whatever baggage that he was. A lot of times when people do that, the people that hurt will move on, and it's the people who get hurt who are holding this baggage that ultimately suffocate themselves. And so I think by letting that jersey go, it was able to let the issues of the father go, and so he's able to kind of move on. A new number, because Jordan did the same thing. Come back with a new number. Those psychologically, a lot of times.
Wait, Jordan came back with a new number.
45.
Yeah. When he was in Washington.
45.
Yeah. Oh, I
remember he was.
I thought you meant the real time. Okay, when he came back. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, just like the whole idea of just sometimes the significance that we give things and being able to say, I think, like I said, giving that jersey away it's like, okay, I'm going to put my old baggage. I'm going to move forward. So I think it was a good move to do it. Even though, like I said, I know people feel like it's too late now, but for himself, I think it was good for Ricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
No.
Fair enough. Okay, so Julie has went to Toys R Us and she has bought all these things. She's bought this.
Babies R Us. There's a difference.
Babies R Us. She went and bought a car full of things like a Lambo stroller. I feel like she's out of character. Like,
why?
Bam.
It's her first
It's
child.
her first child.
Baby. Bam, you don't know no new moms.
I know
with money, like real money though.
Yeah, I do, but it just seemed like it was too much. She like, how far is she? She's not even past.
No, but again, it's her first child. Like, that's the key thing. Is like, first of all, where are you in your birth order? Like, in terms of siblings?
I'm the second to youngest.
Okay, so anyone who's the first child gets like all of the attention, all of the like, oh my God, they can't fall down, they can't do this, like you have to sanitize your hand and so forth and so on. By the last child, they're like, oh, we don't care,
right.
Okay? But the first child is the most important because you've never done this before. So you're geeked. So the minute she saw that little pea stick turn positive, she's gonna go all out. Number one. Number two, remember when Jasmine was here, she specifically said, and it's something that I didn't notice the accessories that she wears, right? She's she's not flashy in the same way that Ricky is, but she's flashy in the way that she's a doctor and she makes money. So she's definitely going to go out and get the best for her kid the minute she realizes she's pregnant because she's that excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well said.
That must be a dude thing, because I thought that was cute.
I thought it was totally cute, especially how she was like, "Oh, now you have a Lamborghini like Ricky." That was kind of cool though.
Poor Ricky.
That was kind of cool. A little pusher, stroller, Lamborghini, whatever.
Okay, well, moving along.
Salty over there.
Does anyone else have? What do you guys think?
I feel like that she may have also. I mean, we got to realize where she is in the story. Her husband just finished having what he thought was a horrible workout for a team that he wanted to go to. So maybe she wanted to bring some excitement to another situation instead of only focusing on him possibly not making the team. Mm-hmm. So she's trying to,
I think that's a good point. But I guess what made me think opposite was the fact that they both thought that he was fired, like he wasn't playing football. So I understand she's a doctor and she's the breadwinner at this point. It just seemed it was a bit much expensive for someone. For a man.
You're worried about the money.
But that's why
in the hood be getting bugaboo strollers. That does not mean anything.
And also, not for nothing, she's a doctor.
Yeah.
She's a doctor. But no, I think your point was spot on. I think that really, and even when the minute he got the phone call and they hugged, I looked at Kennelia and I was like, I absolutely love this couple. And I think that's exactly what she was doing. She knows how much her husband loves football. Mm-hmm. She knows how much her husband basically feels to a certain extent that he has sacrificed for their family. The fact that he tried and possibly wasn't good enough, I think that's exactly what she was doing. She was trying to fill that space, that void with other positive energy, because notice the quickness with which the minute he was like, I don't suck, she just left all this stuff and jumped on him, and that was now her new world. Yeah. I think she's an absolutely amazing wife. I think they're an absolutely amazing couple. I hope that nothing goes wrong in season 2, but I think she totally did that to help him with that void, because they thought that he had gotten cut or actually never made the team. Are we echoing for a reason in the booth?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he did his thing on the field, though.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
He did.
I was like,
at first, I thought that was your character that he knocked out, but it was, but it wasn't. But it was number 80. I mean, helmet, the teeth. I thought
the teeth.
But you know,
white? The dude was white, right?
No, he was black.
No, he wasn't. He was a Spanish dude with a big ass.
Wait, he wasn't black?
No.
Have I been drinking?
Right. You know what's so funny? Bam is the only person up here who has not been drinking.
Wait, don't.
Up here.
Don't bring me into it.
I swore. I thought it was.
I'm drinking water.
Okay. Let's go for it. Let's go down to Spence and Joe and Mr. Anderson. So Spence is informed. Spence is informed that Joe has resigned, and so now he gets his nice big office. He has a new assistant by the name of Virginia, who I love.
Yeah, me too. She's hilarious.
She's hilarious, and I hope she comes back for. Season 2. So now Spence has his whole new world, and Joe now is not going so well. He wants to start his own business. What did you guys think about the whole dynamics between Spence and his new position, and then going back to Joe and him wanting to start the business with him?
I think that for me, because of course we haven't seen any of the episodes, so it was cool for me to just watch Joe go through this emotional, thing with Spencer, even with the last episode where he couldn't go to the game. So it just let me know how close they were from how sensitive Joe was to this, because Joe, up until this point, Joe has always been very funny and everything. So to see him really become hurt, and then how Strathmore was, that's the boss, ain't it?
Yes.
Okay, Strathmore.
Oh no, Anderson.
How Anderson was kind of just like really cold and sharp with Joe. And then for him to feel like he was betrayed by Spencer, it was just good to just see him emotionally go through some stuff. But it always came back around, which shows how good of a person Spencer is on the back end of that stuff.
No, agreed. And for me, I just need to back up a little bit, and maybe it's because I watched Entourage. Joe to me had the spaz out moment that we all thought that Ari Gold was going to have when Ari got fired. So let's think about it. Back, I think it was the last episode, Joe has been there for 10 years. So he has been grinding for 10 years, and he's the one who even brought to Anderson that there should even be a sports division. He's the one who brought to Anderson that they should bring on Spence. Anderson was not in support of this. So if anything, Spence has risen to the occasion because Joe has fostered him, mentored him, pushed him, made him step up to the plate. So for Spence to finally perform and then Joe to get fired...
It's fucked up.
It's beyond, because on some levels, I never like to say something like somebody made someone, because I don't believe in that. But on some levels, it would be normal for Joe to basically think like, yo, but I made you. Like, there are tons of dudes who played football who have names, but a name doesn't necessarily mean that you can get the job done, especially in this field, and actually get clients. So to me, the spaz out was actually showing that Joe has the same emotional acumen as these football players who go out every day and they're like, yo, I want to basically break someone's neck, or I want to smash into someone. That's how you get off your aggression. It shows that Joe actually, on some levels, isn't necessarily the wuss that we thought he was.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because he was like, yo, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out like really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he was like Ice Cube and Straight Outta Compton with the baseball bat. I was like, you know, tear up the office. He tore up the entire office. So yeah,
it's well deserved. I think everything that everybody says is spot on. And back to Spencer, it just really shows his heart.
Yeah.
And we're learning more and more about his character. And a lot of people out here, especially in the industry, if they had the opportunity and they were given an office and a new assistant and a boat outside, they would just take it and leave us all in the dust. So to see him actually do that and still care about the partner, and I think this also shows it gives Joe the respect that he deserves, because Joe, and I like how you said like we're partners, because Joe brought a lot of those clients to Spencer and it was like the collaboration. Spencer was like the face and then Joe did the negotiating, and that's why on the one hand I think Spencer is a good guy, but I also think that Spencer really can't do without Joe.
Absolutely.
right. I agree with that.
So he could want to take it without Joe because he knows Joe's a little fucked up and Joe will do drugs and do all those different things and might have a spaz out moment again. But I don't think he really has the confidence to say, oh, can I do this without Joe?
Is Joe fucked up?
Yes.
He's wild.
Yeah.
He says he likes to party.
I don't
people
think-
really like to party.
I don't think he's fucked up though.
He a normal. I mean, Joe just he a normal dude. He got problems just like everybody else. It's just they just showing they showing it in a different light. But I agree with you. Like I think like it just Spence. He the most loyalist dude on out of everybody on the show. So just to see him have Joe back. And I agree with you too. I don't think he think he could do it without him, because he told Anderson before, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Joe. And he knows. I mean, being in his business from football and being with teammates, he knows like you gotta have somebody back out here, because you can't do it alone.
And not only that, but he went and spoke to him twice. The first time when he couldn't get through to him, then he went to his house and begged and pleaded to make sure that Joe came with him to have his back. So.
Also, too, though, I think that earlier we were talking about an evolution or a maturity for Ricky. I think we also saw a maturity for Spence. Think about the last time Spence had an interaction with Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson was basically talking down to him. He was like, "Oh, get the door." Like, he was like using all these like terms, basically where he was treating him like a child. Spence very much spoke to him businessman to businessman. He basically set up the scenario. He told him why it was the best of the options, and then basically told him where he stood. He didn't. So on some levels, something about when you said he pleaded, he actually didn't plead, and I like that. He simply presented the scenario and basically told Anderson it was a take it or leave it deal. So I think that Spence is also maturing in his role as a financial manager and basically as a rainmaker and a deal maker, and I think that's what that scene showed with Mr. Anderson.
Agree.
And I also feel like they understand when we speak about Joe. When people say he's so crazy and all that, like, I'm from New York, so like a lot of these Wall Street dudes, like they be working 12-hour days and then they'll do coke for hours and go crazy and then wake up in the morning and go right back to work. I feel like he can function in that arena when he needs to. And I also feel like, as far as Mr. Anderson, I feel like Joe understands now that he sees them as pawns to a certain degree, and Spencer is seeming to come in and understand. Like, he wasn't even taking the sports decision seriously until this man here got 48 million, something crazy. Now he wants, his first. Now it makes sense to him. So I feel like he has that. First, he tried to use divide and conquer tactics. He didn't think Spencer was going to stand by him. He 48 laws of power. I see it all over the way he moves, and now he feels like I have to deal with them to get to where I want to get to.
Well said.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Are you gonna talk about how he christened his office though? Before he decided.
Go ahead. What would you? Did you like the scene?
It was a good scene.
I thought it was a great scene. Especially the secretary, because all of a sudden the secretary, like, you heard something. I think we all in the audience did almost the same thing the secretary did, right? Or am I a loser? I literally was like, wait, what? Wait, oh. And then when she like leaned in, I leaned in. I was like, ooh, yeah.
Because I don't think any of us were expecting to see that from The Rock.
At all. No, not at all. Especially all that we saw. Thank you, HBO.
It's cable.
No, see, but you know what though? The funny thing is, I think that cable has a tendency to only play to one side, and they always show like tits and ass on a girl. Yeah. They never show ass on a guy. So thank you, HBO. It's 2015. Good job.
We out here.
Yeah, we out. Seriously, we spend money too.
Sophia,
I'm not keeping it 100.
She right.
I'm happy for y'all ladies. Congratulations. Glad to have that moment. Good job. Yeah.
Well, I think Spence would appreciate Virginia for how she handled the situation. Not only was she listening, but then once she realized that Mr. Anderson was coming, then she threw him a sign, and she had his back.
Yeah. But on the low though, Virginia, she called him boo boo. Virginia wants some of that.
Yeah.
She got close. Every time she talked to him, she get like real close. She was like, hey, boo boo, you want a moist towel? A moist towel?
And she want to rub him down.
Right,
with
she
it.
wants some of that. So we'll keep Virginia over here. We'll see how it pans out.
But see, that's why it's important, even with casting those kind of roles. They had to get a sister girl, man, to really sell that. Otherwise, it could have come off not genuine. But that was just such a nice moment to see a sister, and not just black woman, but a sister who, because she, like you said, I think we related to that because we saw us. We was like, did we hear it? And she did all the stuff that we probably done. So that was cool, man. That was cool.
No, completely agree. Awesome casting.
Awesome.
Wonderful casting. And so now, Vern.
Oh, big Vern. Big Vern.
Okay, so Vern is taking
let him have a band. Go ahead.
Vern is out there taking pictures of trees and all this other shit.
And flamingos. Beautiful creature.
I don't understand.
Bruh, get it together. Get your ass and play football and just...
Jump in whenever you want to. It's funny. So I was thinking about this from last episode. From the minute that Troy, the agent, couldn't get a hold of Vern, I was really thinking about this. And to me, I think one of the hardest things, and maybe it's because I have a couple of friends who played basketball and like never kind of went anywhere. So they're like 6'8", 6'7", just ridiculously tall. Yeah. And anytime we go anywhere, people are like, "Oh my God, do you play basketball?" "Yeah, I used to." "Well, oh my God, you should play basketball." "Yeah, I used to." Other people who are that tall and never played basketball, and people are like, "Oh, but you should play basketball. If I was that tall, I'd totally play." I think there comes a point. Sorry. I think there's like a catch-22 with football, and especially I think what football means for a lot of people. I think for a lot of kids, it happens to be what they're good at, which is statistically their ticket out and their ticket to a lot of money. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's the thing that they love. Like, all things being equal, it's not necessarily the thing in their belly that they dream about becoming. I think that to us non-athletes, it's so easy to think like, oh, of course every little boy grows up wanting to be a football player. But maybe you do, and then you actually play football, and you're like, yo, I wake up in the morning, and I don't even remember my name. I wake up in the morning, and I hurt so bad, I can't believe I have to do this again. So there was a part of me that was thinking, it's a little bit unfair for us to think, like, maybe he wants to take a motherfucking second. Like, it's a big deal to sign this type of a deal. Maybe he needs a couple of days. In any other industry, you would never sign a deal that quickly. Like, you would never just because an offer comes, you wouldn't be like, I'm just signing. It just doesn't happen that way. You would have time to think about it. You would have time to talk it over with your family, your agent, your pastor, whoever the hell. But somehow in this industry, we expect these athletes to be robots and to not have any emotion, and we don't allow them to have any emotion. So,
good point.
I agree. That is a great point. The only reason that I have this problem with Vern is because the offers, for me, it seems like the money's the issue. If, they offered him one thing, he didn't want it, he wants some more. They gave him an offer, no, that's not it, I want more. So maybe he could be using that as a crutch to give himself some time to think.
What if he thinks he deserves more?
Exactly.
Like, let's be real. Go ahead, Emile.
I was going to say that the thing in this industry and in that industry that I respect about Vern is, even though it seems like he's taking a break and like he's figuring this all out, he really is figuring it out, but I feel like even though we see a naive side of Vern, I feel like he actually knows his worth. And I've even had a conversation with Sofia when I was in that contract negotiation, and she was saying, know your worth. And it's so hard when you have an offer on the table because you want to take that because it seems like a lot of money at the time. But if you can just be patient and wait a little longer, God will bless you. So I feel like, because remember, it was that moment where he was like, I'll keep playing. I want to finish out to the end of the season, hoping that they'll re-up. And then he found out the good news about his new contract. So it's just a matter of knowing your worth. And anybody who just signs immediately, there's an issue there. But with him, he was going through the issue of Reggie at the same time. So I respect him for having some time to process it. I don't understand the Flamingos part. I'm still trying to figure that out. But, I mean, whatever floats your boat. It might be relaxing.
It's Florida.
Yeah, right.
I think also that's why to what you guys are saying, we really got to teach people how to treat us, and I think that's why Reggie is kind of around, because you need some friends around you that are like, I have some friends around me, they don't care who making money in stand-up. To them, I'm the next guy. Or, these people like support. And I know Reggie can be, he has proclivity to kind of just have some issues. But at the end of the day, Reggie's the one telling Vernon, you better than everybody. Yeah. So just get this money. It's true. And he's feeding that, because sometimes we need people around us to feed our self-esteem just as people, to say, to affirm that what we're doing is right. And so I think that break, but then also shows a gentle side to Vernon. Like out there with the out there in nature, and he's such a football player. Like, it's a good contrast. I mean, that's a good side.
Like a gentle giant.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, with Vern too, he don't know how to. I mean, that's why he got Reggie, because he don't know how to handle all this stuff. All he knows is ball. He know on the field, off the field. He don't know what's going. He don't know how to handle all this. I mean, with Reg, and he felt like he kind of last episode. He felt like he kind of betrayed him, and then even at the party, he just partying. He like, we all go out to parties. We don't expect somebody to sue us the next day for all this money. I mean, people do stuff all the time, and he just can't. He don't feel like he can't trust nobody. So that's his biggest issue. Like he just need, like you say, he needed some space. It's just too much coming after him. And with the show, it's really like like you see Ricky about to go to camp. Like the season's about to start. Like he needs to get back focused on ball, and he needed some time to just get ready for camp. Because when you in training camp, your life, like when the season's over, it's like your life is over. It's ball for 6 months. And he just needed some time, and like you said, he needed to know his worth. Like, I mean, Spence earlier in the season, I think like the 4th episode, he's talking about leave your ego out the way, get this the 3rd contract. But in football, you're not guaranteed nothing. Like not even all that money he just signed, 100 and I don't know how much million. He not gonna see none of that money. He gonna see that 45. But in football, your money's not guaranteed, and that's the difference between football and basketball. Basketball, all your money guaranteed. So Vern want to make sure he good, because you're not for certain on the 3rd contract. He want to make sure he get what he want this contract, and if he blessed enough to get a 3rd contract, then he probably gonna have to put the ego aside for that, because by that time he gonna be old, and he gonna have to get what he can.
It's true.
Side note, I always like how Vernon is always aloof to everything. Like if things are happening, and Vernon's like, oh yeah, like that scene, I think episode maybe 5, I think it was, when we was working out the deal when Spencer had the spread, and he was asking about dude, and Spence was just like, he's passed away. It's like, oh, everything is all like, these moments. But I think that works well with, like you said, like Vernon does football, and that's why you got somebody around you to kind of handle all that, the stuff around you, so that he can be good at what he does.
Although I was pleasantly surprised at how the episode ended, where everything was very, like, everyone was together, there was no drama. But do you guys think that Reggie's apology was sincere towards Spence, and now everybody just cool now? And this was before.
I still felt they still sparred a little bit. It wasn't like they hugged and whatever. He still was like, "Oh, we gonna do it your way." Like that. He was being condescending when he said that.
Yeah, and if I had beef with somebody, I wouldn't expect their apology to be sincere. Maybe that's just me, but if let's say me and Emile had beef, and all of a sudden he was like, "You know what? Everything you said was totally right," I'd be like, "You on that bull?" And I would think, I'd be like, "Oh, that's so thank you, great." But in the back of my mind, I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, he's still on that bull." So I don't think they came into it expecting bygones to be bygones. I think they were just like, "Oh, okay, cool. Let's just
also with drinks,
keep it surface."
Drinks will cause an apology too. You loosen up with some drinks. It ain't that bad, but it is,
And maybe
I'm money.
I was about to say that. I was like, am I the only money person? Like that money that must create a high. Like just literally the minute we all saw the check, I think we all had a reaction. Like I stood up in my chair. Like
I would
we were like, damn, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of freaking money.
It is.
And they all gonna eat from that, because I don't know who said it. Someone was like, oh, who's paying for dinner? Who the fuck cares who's paying for dinner? They all can pay for dinner because they're all eating off of that check. So that, I think, allows you to kind of be like, yo, for right now, we good.
Yeah, and it wasn't, at the end of the day, it wasn't about them. It wasn't about Reggie, Reggie Spence. It was about Vernon. It was celebration, and you don't ever want to bring nothing sour to the party. Like, I mean, they can have if there's problems, handle that tomorrow. It's a party. We all got to celebrate, and like you said, we all rich.
And then I also looked at the table at that moment. Everybody got what they wanted.
Yes.
So there was absolutely no reason for anything stupid. At that moment, everybody was happy on so many levels. Tracy was happy. Rock was happy. Reg was happy. Vern was happy. Everybody was good. The agent was happy.
The mom was happy.
Mom was wild.
Mom was real happy.
It was a good moment. And then I feel like Reg is a lot smarter than people give him credit for. I feel like he's playing chess with the Rock, Spence, just like Spence is playing chess with him. He's like, okay, now you did it. You did what you were supposed to do, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I agree and I disagree with you. I actually don't think that The Rock is playing chess on some real bullshit. I think The Rock got lucky. I think Spence got lucky. I think that Reggie is playing chess, and Reggie has always been playing chess.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
No, I agree. I think that The Rock isn't playing with him. I don't really think that The Rock is at his level yet. I think The Rock got lucky on some real bullshit. Let's be real. All The Rock really did was decide to meet with Angela after having been told to do so. Does that make sense? What did he really do? It's really Vernon who literally was the one who's obviously this marquee player. It's Reggie who was the one who's like, I actually think that he can be this marquee player, hold out for the money. It's the agent who actually negotiated the deal. All Spence did, and I'm not trying to minimize it or to be condescending, but all Spence did was take care of the problem that happened at his party with a woman that Spence was involved with, so the girl was really coming for Spence and not for Vern.
I mean, I don't know. I think Spence, he didn't have Vern back this whole time along with Reggie, because I mean, at the end of the day, money talks, and he didn't want to put up the money for everything, because Vern couldn't afford nothing. He couldn't even. He had to borrow. At the end of the day, he borrowed at least like almost $500,000 from Spence, and he could have been like, he could have easily said no. And it would have been a whole different story. But I mean, it was a team effort from everybody. I feel like.
Good point.
Took a village for that.
But that also shows the loyalty to Spencer, being able to put that money up a couple times, still believing in Vernon, and making that smart. I think that was a smart investment. Like, I'm gonna put the money up front and work it out on the back end.
No, that's a good point.
Very good point. Anything else? Anything else in the finale?
Yeah, no, but I'm happy that ended up on a good note. Even though I kept saying, I kept thinking that something was going to happen at the last 30 seconds.
Well, it's weird because even though everything was wrapped up, it leaves me wanting more, because I'm like, I really thought something was about to go down like in the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, I thought something was gonna happen between Ricky and Alonzo when they were outside at the parade. Like just the music and the build up, I felt something.
Oh,
was
but yeah,
gonna,
like can I give a good job applause to Ricky and his arriving with camels and the full regalia.
It was like Aladdin.
No, totally.
Yeah,
like
so people point out he had Louis Vuitton saddle.
Yeah.
Tip this
Do you know what I mean? Like, yo, because that's prime time. Like, he's literally bringing it.
Yeah.
So
it's the NFL. It's
Yeah.
one of the most richest businesses out there. So.
completely.
Speaking of rich, now that you guys are on Ballers,
Oh my God. I'm broke, nigga. Yeah. I was about to ask y'all to loan me $1.
Oh God.
so you guys must be on a ride I can't imagine feeling, because you guys literally within months have gone from maybe no one or not many people checking for you from your past work to now people are literally like. No, that's
No, I didn't think
It's
at all.
real.
It's real.
It's real. I was a nobody.
Yeah,
You're right.
It's true.
Nobody.
Like, we was grinding.
This a big dude on the street. That's it.
and now and now like okay, so it was Donovan's birthday last week, so we went out for his birthday party and we were all hanging out.
Yeah.
And just the response of how people were coming up to both Donovan and to London, it was crazy. I mean, people. London was he was at a restaurant eating, and there were people in line. When they saw you, they literally went out of line in the club to come and speak to you.
You know, I was telling somebody the other day, which is
That has to be a great feeling, right?
Just a blessing.
it's
God
cool
is
that
good.
people. I was telling somebody I'm like peripheral famous. So if you like looking this way and I'm here, then I look like somebody. But when you turn, they like. Nah, that ain't him. He just got a 06 Ultima. That can't be the same dude on the show. So I was at O'Reilly getting some parts, and so I'm still doing some regular stuff. And so right now people, they just kind of do a double take because I'm in some places where I think, because TV, I think to a lot of people is like this Aristotelian idea, like it's so like far over there. So when they see me in the Slauson swap meet, buying a Pro Club tee, they be like, I don't know if that's dude.
I ain't in the sauce. No.
You better go and get you some weed. Little jewelry. They got weed. They got nice quality. They got good quality.
But see,
I'm at Century City.
Glendale,
but see, I'm LA.
Yeah,
so
he's
for
from
me,
LA. He's from LA.
I'm still just doing some regular stuff. But it is cool that people can appreciate. I usually try to post. I run into people. I do a quick Snapchat.
Yeah, I've been seeing your videos on Instagram too.
Because I know what that feels like to
Be a
just
fan.
want to be acknowledged or on some sort of level of people feeling like, yo, I'm tangible to them and just like, yo, it's cool. It's all good. Let's do that because I understand what that feels like. Mm-hmm. So I try to provide that for people because I just get it. I'm very regular anyway, so.
And Donovan,
Yes.
for you, now you have people that come up to you that you're fans of, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're from Ballers," and you're like, "Wait, you're." So how does that feel for you to be recognized by people you actually look up to?
I mean, it's amazing just how Lyndon was saying. I mean, it's dudes. I just got back from UCLA. We had a little event for Matt Barnes for Athletes vs. Cancer, and it was all it's athletes. And I mean, DeAndre Jordan coming up to me like, man, I love this show, and it's just like, man, I'm like, I love your work too, but it just show you hard work pays off. And it's just a blessing just to see people, like the show and show us love and want to tell us how good we did. And it's just driving me and I'm pretty sure with Antoine and London to just keep working hard because you want to. I mean it's a little addictive. You want to keep having this feeling a little bit. And it's been cool, man. It's been like London said. I want to make everybody experience, the best I can, because I'm a fan too, and I know how it is when I meet people and they, not really paying no attention or not giving no love. So I just want to make sure I could do the most I can. I can't please nobody, but I want to make sure you leave and you like, man, Donovan's cool, man. He ain't no asshole out here, or he ain't too big time. So
not to cut you off, but that's
That's
why even
cool.
for me, I have to make sure almost that I'm especially nice because of the character, and I'm like, yo, it's nothing like this, so I gotta really play.
It's tough for you out there, man.
You know, it's always cool because people don't understand that their mind feeds off Reggie on some sort of level. Like they hate him, but there's some stimulation that comes from wanting to hate somebody. And so once we meet a person, it's always a smile and it's cool. I'm like, yo, let's I hold the baby and
Yeah, Donovan came to my restaurant the other day.
Yeah.
And whenever anybody, if it's a celebrity I like, or somebody I actually know, I'll tell my manager to give them a discount. And so my manager, I was like, can you give table 36 a discount, right? I was his server. I was like, can you give table 36 a discount? It worked. And then my manager watched Ballers. He didn't know who was at the table yet. So he looks out. He's like, so Emile, do you really know him, or are you just trying to give him a discount because he's on Ballers? And I was like, no, I interviewed him a couple weeks ago. And people don't know that I do this. I don't talk about what I do outside of because they get jealous. And then he's like, oh, okay. But then he looked it up and saw I was telling the truth. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
And one of the servers came up to you too. He was like, can I go say something to him? I'm like, yeah, why not?
Where do you work?
I'll tell you offline.
Okay,
no promo. They don't pay you for that.
No, we be having people coming in stalking sometimes. Oh my God, you're on the Scandal After Show.
That's great.
I'm working. You don't see me.
They do.
They really do that. That's crazy.
It's funny. I'm really just laughing because Bam's laughing.
Bam's laughing. I can't.
Yeah, what was that moment for you? The hookup or what was
It was the fact that you asked your boss about, can you get the discount?
Oh no, I give him a discount. Adina Porter from True Blood, she came in. I gave her and her children a discount.
I will be back now.
Come back. Yeah. Every time, discount.
So, what are some of the advantages? Are you guys getting free stuff? Or free stuff, shoes?
I hosted a club yesterday.
Because I know you hosted a club.
Did he say host?
Yeah.
Did he say host?
He said host.
Oh.
No.
But we getting a few of those too.
They own I know they own y'all. They own you. They own y'all.
They are extremely
handsome.
The thirst is real though.
Is that
I'm getting real now.
I get this thing where sometimes now I'm getting a lot of like prophets, like people. Man, I always knew you had something. I can see something in your future. I'm like, you done seen 5 episodes. Where was these thoughts last year when I couldn't pay my phone bill?
Exactly.
Or sometimes there's this thing where people were talking about, you know what? I don't know what it was, but I had some dreams about you, and you was just like, we went. I was like, really? So third episode, you done had some dreams. It was like
that early.
Man, this is too much, man.
God.
The thirst is real because I saw.
Shadows out here. I'm out here in the bushes, like
throw your info out in the street.
I was actually recording when she was hollering at you. Like,
No.
Go ahead, Bam. Let Bam talk.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's talk about you and your music.
Damn, can't see. Nobody say.
wow.
club code.
It's good,
Most of them posted the pictures on Instagram anyway. I'm just saying.
I saw you.
Wait, do that one more time. And
This Bam be like, yo, I saw you. I saw you, though.
Oh my God. Sorry.
We just give you a hard time.
It's
Bam.
all good. It's all good. I can take it. What's music wise? What's going on with music and?
Man, music. I was actually about the Slim thing. Slim from 112 wants one of my records.
Okay.
I did a record to Jen.
Peaches.
Speaking of like people who you look up to, knowing you or seeing you, I was in Atlanta like 2 weeks ago.
ATL.
And we ATL instead of Mad Love. I'm in the spot and
Don't
like
ever say Atlanta.
you chill. It was T.I.'s new restaurant opening, so we up on the roof. And then Dre 3000 comes in and Big Boy. It's like, I'm like, oh, dang. Yeah, like what? This nigga Big Boy man was like, yo, you on Ballers? Why you throwing the nigga Jordans in the bathtub? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo. The Dre 3000 laughing, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It's a real moment. But they people just like us, man.
Yeah.
I really want people to know that we just regular people. We just do a different job.
Yeah.
And society put it on this scale, but we still got to be great.
I was telling somebody, acting is like an incredible like temp job. Like you just kind of do it and you gig it into the next thing, and you kind of hope and pray for the next one. But it's just like a cool temp job.
That's true.
Now I don't know. It maybe I'm not on that level yet. I may word it differently later on, but right now that's what it feels like. Cause I'm like, I was like, is there season 2? We got the call. I was like, but then I couldn't relax all the way because I was like, well. But am I on?
How many episodes are we in?
That's real.
It's very real.
So it is official. You guys are obviously coming back for season 2, right?
I've heard that I'm back on.
Yeah, we all come back. We throwing it out there.
Yes,
We all
I like
coming out
that.
there.
We back in the
Yes.
streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no way they
We
didn't.
hitting there next summer.
We back.
Okay. And you said something about Janet Jackson. You wrote something for the new album that's coming out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Where Janet at?
I wrote a joint called Naked. So it's like it's like now she's like finalizing the list and she already cut the record, so it's kind of like you can't be like it's a done deal until it's a done deal, but when she cuts your record, it says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like a legend. Like I didn't even get to meet her yet. Yeah, it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Oh, sweet, man.
So we see.
I'm gonna have to get you write me a song.
I got you. You just made 18 million.
Yeah, I need to get in that studio though.
In the booth.
Last thing, you're doing comedy out of the country. Let everyone know where that's gonna be at.
Yeah, this weekend I'll be with a friend of mine, Damon Williams. Shout out to Damon Williams. We'll be out in the Cayman Islands doing some stand up. So if y'all can get on over out there, if y'all out there
We have listeners out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be dope, man. Come on out.
Yeah.
Can we get a flight?
I got buddy passes.
For real. Y'all got y'all passports though. That's
No,
I just got back from Italy.
We ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're ready.
At the dough.
I'm ready for you.
Don't play with me. I got 2. You forgot I got 2 passports.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where
DJ.
else you from?
Huh? London.
Oh, got you. Got you. I'm sorry.
Just keeping it 100.
The dough.
DJ,
Yeah,
drop
at
the
the
beat.
dough.
Let's go on to Kennelia's co-piece of the week.
Icebreakers.
Oh, what's playing?
Co-piece of the week for the season finale for Ballers, episode 10 of season 1, 3 parts. 1 goes to us for having 7 people up in the studio. We got 7 people in the studio. That's number 1. Number 2, Dennis for just being a deadbeat dad. I mean, I'm not listening to nobody who got a KMP pantsuit on and a Kango's like, you got a Kango on.
Kango.
He has sweat dripping on the side. You know, deadbeat dads always got that 1 bead of sweat coming down the side of their forehead.
That was real sweat.
Real sweat too. And then part 3 goes to Virginia.
Yes.
My girl Virginia. For literally wanting some of that of Spence. She wanted some of that. Offer him a moist towel. I see you, Virginia. And just for being a down ass chick. So that's Cold Piece of the Week. Also, we'd like to thank all of the fans for supporting us throughout this entire season. You've been hitting us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, letting us know what you thought of the show. So we want to give you Cold Piece Ed of the Week. Let us know what you think. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using hashtag Cold Piece and let us know what you thought about the finale. Shout out to Donovan, Antoine, and London for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go into predictions for season 2 Ballers.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
And
I only have one prediction. Is that Spence is going to have to make a decision on whether or not they are going to center their sports division around Vern or whether or not he's going to expand. Because I feel like there's going to be someone else who is basically Vern's competitor that is going to approach Spence, and it's going to be whether or not it's a conflict of interest.
For me, I have more wants. I want to see way more of Virginia. I want the relationship with Charles and Julie to work out, but like I said in a couple of predictions now, I don't think that's going to go the way that we would like it to go. Trying to think what else. And I still want to see more conflict with Spence and Reggie. I don't think that's over, so hopefully that comes back. And I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah.
I want season 2.
Me too.
Yeah, I think that the pictures are going to resurface again or something with that Angela thing, because nobody just gives you a hard drive and doesn't have a backup on their iPhone or their on their MacBook. Nobody has that. So the fact, and she was so scorned and bitter. She was hella spiteful. So I think that's going to return. So I don't think we're in the clear with that.
I noticed that Spence, when he was driving, that he was popping pills again like Skittles. So I think that's going to come back up in season 2, obviously, and it may potentially harm him in the long run. And then I think as far as the Reg, Spence, and Vern, I think that Vern will either be injured. I think you'll be injured and you won't play football, and it's going to cause, because as you said, the money's not always guaranteed. Yeah. So although you have the 18, I feel like there's gonna have to be now some friction because everything is just too happy. It's too happy. So if he quits or have a nervous breakdown because they're at each other's throats, or you get injured, then the drama will come. So that's my prediction for that. So
Ask them if they have any predictions. You never know.
My prediction is I feel like Spence has to have some competition. Like I feel like maybe some of their clients that he's gonna have to have another person who's like at his level that he could take his clients or something like that. I feel like we got to go deeper into Mr. Anderson because he got a lot of money, and like you just starting the sports division, like I think he may be moving coke or something because he got a lot of boats. Something's gonna happen with him.
It's true.
Old money.
I feel like what else? I feel like Ricky is going to mature a little bit, but I feel like something's gonna pull him back. Something gonna pull him back. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe his dad comes and fixes it. I feel like I cause more chaos, God willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I like all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think just my prediction. I mean, obviously all the characters, but you don't know anything about his prior. Like, I think they're gonna introduce some of where me and Reg, our relationship, where we came from, our backstories.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then I mean, each character, we all are mutually like with Spence, but I think somehow they're gonna bring us together somehow because like Vern doesn't know Ricky. And me and Reg, we don't know Ricky. I kind of know Omar a little bit. I know him at the party, but like I feel like it's just gonna be some more relationships building, and that's it. That's my prediction.
Mr. London.
I feel like when I went to audition, I came on some Spencer, on some suit stuff when I went in for the Reggie part. They told me no, he's a lot more just regular, and so I think that they're going to hopefully throughout these seasons. Reggie will start to develop into the thing that he's been kind of discovering, and so then and I'm waiting for the suits. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm ready. I'm ready to be.
We rich now, so we good.
So and maybe that's a thing of like either Spencer. That's something that he'll get from Spencer, and watching Spencer and Vernon be like, "Yo, I'm gonna need you to kind of step up on how you represent me." Write that in there. Boom. Now he's like, So at least the suits.
He trying to keep some suits.
Dude, I want to be dressed. But then I think he's just going to grow into. I think going to grow into actually learning the numbers that he's been finagling with. Hopefully, and like I said, more conflict. But really, just step up a lot more.
Okay, final thing. Let everyone know where you could be found on social media before we wrap.
On social media, I'm at Real London Brown, at Real London Brown, or I'mLondonBrown.com, and I'm on Snapchat, all the same names. I'm retweeting and reposting, so hopefully y'all can go there and catch my comedy shows as well.
Antoine Harris. You can find me at I'm Antoine Harris on Twitter and Instagram, and thank you for the love and support.
Yeah, I'm Donovan W. Carter. You can find me at Twitter at DCSoulfly90 and Instagram and Facebook at Donovan W. Carter. And yeah, shout out everybody. Shout out Jazz and Tiff out there too.
Hey.
One last thing, I've been meaning to do this. People, don't be afraid to go after the stuff you want. Like, don't try to wait till it's right. The difference between the incredible artists, like I always mention, the Jay-Z's of the world and the talented rapper at the park is fear. Like, move forward non-stop. Be very, very, very focused and keep the faith.
Brother.
That's my word of inspiration, man.
Amen, brother.
Great words of inspiration. And where can you guys be found on social media? Oh no, thank you guys
It's
so much.
amazing. We appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for real.
Yeah, nah.
Cause ain't nobody else doing this, so
talk.
we need it.
Real talk.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia.
For me, on everything at Emile Ennis Jr. on YouTube, Chasing LA. And if you want to hear us talk more outside of AfterBuzz, check out Happy Hour. Go to iTunes, search for Happy Hour and any of our first names, and you'll find us. Hottest topics, we talk about it every week. So Happy Hour on iTunes. We love you.
At Sofia Stanley, Twitter and Facebook. At the Sofia Stanley on Instagram.
And you can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen. Well, this is it. Thank you guys so much for watching Ballers on HBO for AfterBuzz TV. We want to thank our special guests again, Mr. London Brown, Mr. Antoine Harris, and Donovan W. Carter. Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
I had to sneeze.
Was that a snake?
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.